What's up, fellow Gen Xers and enthusiasts? Welcome to Xhale and Rewind, where we're all about celebrating our unique experiences growing up as part of Gen X. We witnessed some truly impactful moments, like the Desert Storm, the Challenger explosion, the tragic passing of Princess Diana, and the death of rock legend Kurt Cobain. But hey, we also saw some truly amazing things like the Berlin Wall coming down, the rise of MTV, the birth of arcades, the launch of the We Are the World video, mixtapes, and playing Oregon Trail on the first school computers. And we are here to share with you just a little bit about what life was like as a Gen Xer. Xhale and Rewind. What is up? Welcome back to Xhale and Rewind, y'all, where we're always playing with the past. I'm your boy and your host, Mike.
Your co-host Juju, and today we're heading outside to play until the streetlights come on.
Was that not the universal signal? I mean, street lights on, time to get your ass home.
Unless you were pulling a just 5 more minutes routine.
Hey, that never worked for me, but I always try. You know what's really wild, Juju? Kids today probably don't even know what we mean by street lights coming on.
Right? It was like this nationwide parenting system that everybody just understood.
It's kind of the freedom of the streets, y'all. So, let's paint the picture for our listeners. It's summer, I'd say 1985-ish, as I'm dressed, you can see.
The sun blazing. There's no such thing as sunscreen.
There was sunscreen, Juju. Well, I just don't think we used it.
True. And you leave the house right after breakfast.
You'd have that classic mom call out, "Be back for lunch."
Which you never were. Because you were too busy playing. What was your go-to game, Mike?
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, it's not around anymore, but when I was real young, I loved kick the can. You'd always find a can laying around somewhere. The can of champions, you know?
Kick the can. Let's break this down for any young listeners. It was like hide and seek meets prison break.
Definitely, with the old beat up can. That can was the star of the show. And you needed that perfect empty space or a quiet street.
And at least 6 kids to make it really good. Though you play with 3 if you had to.
Yeah. Alright. Let's list out the essential street games. We've got kick the can.
Hide and seek, obviously. But then you have variations like Ghosts in the Graveyard.
Which was basically nighttime hide and seek with a lot of screaming and running around.
1 o'clock in Hallswell.
Alright. The suspense of that game, though. You'd always have that one kid who'd hide too well and would all end up yelling, "Ollie, Ollie, oxen free!"
Speaking of calling things out, red light, green light.
Red light.
Another Mother May I.
Don't forget Simon Says.
And all these games were basically teaching us impulse control without us knowing it.
Definitely. Alright. Let's talk street sports. Not organized leagues. We're talking about the games you made up with whatever you had around you.
Stickball, using a broomstick handle and any kind of ball you could find.
Definitely. And the rules change depending on your street. Like if you hit Mrs. Johnson's house, it was an automatic out.
But if you got it over Mr. Peterson's garage, it was a home run.
Aye. And you had street football. 2-hand touch. Yeah, those games get a little rough sometimes.
Yeah. Classic moment, you know. Clear the street if you have to. The classic car moment when everyone had to grab the goals and clear the street real fast.
Definitely, and there's always that one jackass kid who'd take forever to get out of the damn road, and then the grown-ups be staring at everybody and honking their horn.
Usually the same kid who argued about whether the ball went in or out.
Alright, so let's talk about playgrounds. We've got to talk about those games a little bit. The stuff you'd play during recess that could also carry over after school.
Foursquare, the ultimate playground status game.
Man, the drama of Foursquare, man,
And that kid who insisted their school's rules were the real rules.
Jackass. Right. Then you had wall ball.
Hopscotch with the most elaborate chalk courses.
Don't forget jump rope. Cinderella dressed in yellow went upstairs to kiss a fellow. And double dutch. I mean, that was like an art form.
The rhythm, the chants, the complicated footwork, it was like street poetry.
All right. Remember riding your bikes like everywhere? We really need to dedicate some time to that because your bike wasn't just transportation, Juju.
It was freedom.
And like everybody found something to build a homemade ramp out of.
You need a piece of plywood and some cinder blocks.
That's all you needed. And those cinder blocks could get sketchy sometimes if you didn't hit the ramp right.
Right.
But we loved it.
Remember decorating your bike? Playing cards in the spokes.
Yeah. And handlebar streamers, those weird plastic things on your wheels.
And if you had a BMX bike, you were basically royalty.
Yeah, or a Sigma. All right, so one thing about Generation X that I pride ourselves on, we made do with what we had, and we didn't have a lot. The thing that really defined our outdoor games was using whatever the hell we found around us.
Right?
And imagination.
Absolutely. And a cardboard box could be anything. A fort, a car, a spaceship.
I mean, a stick. You got a sword, you got a pew pew, or a magical wand.
And somehow, everyone just understood what it was supposed to be.
Remember playing The Ground is Lava? Get your feet up.
I'm roasted. Literally any raised surface became safe ground. Yes. Rest in peace to all the couch cushions we dragged outside.
Alright. And don't forget the elaborate storylines we create. Like the sidewalk cracks were filled with sharks.
Ooh, or that one tree was a portal to another dimension.
Yes. Alright. Neighborhood dynamics. Something that is different nowadays. Let's take a second and talk about that dynamic. There was always a hierarchy.
Oh, yeah. The kid with the best yard for playing.
The kid with the cool older sibling who teach you new games.
The kid whose mom always had the good snacks.
Yeah. And you had to have at least one kid who owned all the right sports equipment.
But they had to be cool about sharing, or nobody would play with them.
Yeah, definitely. There was a politic to the whole childhood and complexities of it.
Yeah. And that's seasonal specials. We should break down how games change with the seasons.
Summer was all about water games. Super Soakers changed everything, y'all.
Running through sprinklers, making slip and slides with garbage bags.
Alright, and then fall meant jumping in the leaves pile.
Winter was snowball fights and building forts.
And spring, marble season. Like, remember playing marbles? Nobody does that anymore.
Another episode? That's too much controversy for today.
Alright, lightning round. Most dangerous game we played, Juju.
Lawn darts. How were those ever legal?
Game most likely to end in a fight.
Capture the flag, hands down.
Most complicated rules.
Well, that handball game where the ball had to bounce twice, but only on Tuesdays.
That was definitely your neighborhood rules, because I ain't never heard of it. Alright, you know what strikes me about all these games, Juju?
How they required absolutely no batteries.
That, and how they all required human interaction, something we are losing today. Face-to-face problem solving.
Learning to negotiate rules.
And for figuring out how to settle disputes without having to call grown-ups into it.
Building this amazing neighborhood community that's just happening naturally.
Yeah, I mean, not to sound like old folks, but kids today really are missing out on something special, I think.
Though I guess every generation probably says that.
Yeah, but Gen X is the best. And We actually had lawn darts to prove it. Come on.
And the scars to show for it. Next week, we're diving into
Ah! My turn. Don't tell them yet. We're not going to tell you what we're diving into next week. It'll be a good one, though. You guys hit that notification bell so you know when all our new episodes come out.
Hit that comment. Please share and subscribe.
And until then, stay outside and play, y'all.